Listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com. Oh, 9:23, that's the time on this beautiful Friday fall morning. What a beautiful, awesome day. I mean, the Redbird soccer team picking up that awesome win last night. A great show and a great guest on the phone with Rich Henry, Henry's Rabbit Ranch. Rich, how are we doing this beautiful fall morning?
Well, like you said, it's a beautiful day out. The sun's shining, it's crystal clear, and it can only get better.
And, Rich, the last time we talked was, about a few months ago? How's everything been since then?
Well, since then, going back to late July, the travelers have increased on the numbers every day coming in, and usually about this time of the year, they'll start kind of dwindling off. But it's been busy. It's been good. We've had, just this week, had a young man from Japan on a motorcycle, a lot of travelers from Australia, and just about any other country that's out there.
I just think it's so really incredible that you're able to meet so many walks of life, so many different faces right there on Route 66. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but it's just one of the coolest things to hear about. It's just how it's just a melting pot of culture.
Yeah, it really is. And a unique thing that's going to happen here Monday is we get these group of motorcycles from an outfit called Eagle Riders. And they've had this one tour guide. His name's Richard Weinkoff. And on Monday, this will be his 66 tour guide trip on 66.
That's incredible. Yeah, I'm looking.
It is.
I just Googled them, Rich, and this is really cool. And how long have they been stopping by?
I would say he's been the primary one ever since the beginning. I would say 8 years, maybe 10 years even.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and talk about just that feeling of Americana too, to see some motorcycles up and down going down Route 66. Man, that's gotta be a cool feeling just in itself.
Well, it really is. He sent me a picture. There'll be 21 motorcycles, and he says he's never had such a diversified group of countries on one tour. Look like maybe 8 or 9 different countries.
Wow.
Yeah, plus one American.
And that's to me just so you can't put a price tag on that, and just bringing so many people together for a really cool ride, and then of course driving the Mother Road, and I call it America's Main Street. I really do believe it is.
It is.
You know, Rich, did you ever expect to meet all these different people whenever you first started this journey? Because I know everyone has ideas, but I mean, to be able to say that you pretty much met somebody from almost every country, I'm assuming by now, I mean, that's something that's one of the coolest things out there.
I never realized it, because when I first started it, it was just a hobby with a few people coming in, and just little by little it grew over the years. We kind of grew with it. And the thing that really escalated it was when the movie Cars came out in June of 2006. We didn't see a big impact in 06, but from that year after and on, that was one of the biggest things.
Wow. Well, and too, you know, at this point in the year, it seems like it's one of those things where you're finally able to kind of take that deep breath after the summer rush. Am I right?
Yes. It's a little bit of a relaxing feel to know that, it's enjoyable with all the people coming in, but at the same time, with the other things that I mix in with it here, it's kind of a vacation for me.
Well, absolutely, especially with all the things you got going on, too. On top of that, it's definitely a warm sight or I guess a cool sight to see spring, huh? Or fall.
It is, and late fall and winter, it's a relaxing change of the seasons, and just kind of giving you a break to recharge your own batteries.
And Rich, are there any good stories that you've had from the summer of interacting with some of the folks stopping through the doors?
I know there's been a couple. You took me by surprise. I'm trying to think what they could. I guess the thing is, from time to time, we'll have somebody come in and they'll say, I was here 8 years ago. I was here 13 years ago. And then I'll say, well, at that time, we had Montana, the bunny rabbit, on the counter, or Big Red. It's the most gratifying thing is to get a repeat traveler, because you figure that they like it enough to come back again.
Well, and
I'm trying to think as I'm speaking on this other topic. I'll tell you what, there was a guy in here Tuesday from, maybe it was Wednesday, but he was from England, and during COVID, when he was unable to hardly even get out of his house over there, every day he did a 5-minute or longer on the treadmill. He did a virtual Route 66 tour every day. It was 355 days, he told me. And he took notes, and he put together this beautiful, and hopefully someday it'll be ready for people to purchase. He put this book together. It's probably 2 inches thick.
Wow.
He's got pictures. He's got the where he was headed to and from. He even had little insinuations that he had put in there to add to the humor of his writing. And I can't, his name was Darren, and I can't, he was with his dad and a friend. And he's traveling 66 as we speak, headed west.
That's just... That's so cool. And Rich, when you were just going back to what you said, those repeat travelers, I think it has to feel good too, knowing they liked the place, but it seems to me, they remembered you. And, just to be able to have those long lasting impacts has got to be a cool feeling too.
It is. Yesterday, later in the afternoon, I guess it was later in the morning, I had a mother and her 15-year-old daughter. I think they're from California, and they came about the same time a few other travelers were here. And she says, where's the bunny rabbits? Well, we just got 8 inches of rain overnight. And I said, I couldn't put them out today because it's too wet. So I could see she was kind of downhearted, basically for her daughter's sake. So the other groups, the couples, they left. So I said to her, I said, if you want to wait until I finish with this last couple, I will give you a personal tour of the house where the bunny rabbits are. And that was so moving for her and her daughter and myself. And you can see that these people were disappointed, and all of a sudden, a 180 was done, and they actually got to get a personal tour, which occasionally I'm able to do, and then they got to hold a bunny rabbit.
Wow. Well,
yeah, that is a wow. Yeah, that's a wow moment.
Well, and too, that's something that family's going to remember for a while. That goes above it. You can't put a price tag on that, man.
No, you can't. It's priceless. I will have people sometimes 2 or 3 months after they end their trip, maybe send me a Facebook message, but most of the time they take time to do a personal message on a postcard or a thank you letter, and they'll mail it, and they'll say, that was the biggest thrill we had on our whole trip. And I think it's hard for me to realize it, because to me, it's really not that much. But for that to have been that much of a experience, not only 66, but the daughter had never held a bunny rabbit before.
Oh.
And I was just, I get emotional and speechless. And normally, I'm like some of our politicians that just keep rambling on all the time. Yeah, but yeah, it's stuff like that you know, I don't care if they don't spend anything, or if they make some purchases or a donation, but it's just makes my whole day. Yeah.
Well, and too, Rich, it seems like that's really what Route 66 is truly about, is that connecting of America, the coast to coast, you know, but also bringing people together every stop of the way, and
the
just
experience.
Well, and that's what I mean. That's what I think that you do so well up there. And you know, if you could, you know, I was going to ask you about this. What are some? I was. Pardon me. The weather change is getting to me, Rick. Or Rich. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
I was wondering, as the fall changes and as the seasons change, can you always tell by the types of vehicles people are driving in throughout the year? Like I've always wondered that, where if you know, oh, warmer weather's coming around the coast because here's someone driving by and driving through in a convertible, and then, you know, here's fall because they're in their SUV. Has that ever happened?
Yeah. Not really, because regardless of the weather, they're going to drive the type of vehicle that they're experiencing. Now, you will see, and we do even get people not near the number in December and January occasionally, but they're no motorcycles, you know. But you'll still see that classic car, convertible, but the top is up because that's what they plan to do it in. And then as they get west, it will get warmer. So even in December and January, they might get some convertible weather out in Arizona, especially California.
Absolutely. And then, you know, Rich, when people stop in, because to me, I've been encouraging people to stop in just here in Alton and go up and see what it's all about, and stop in and say hi, but also to just be able to say, you know, we're less than 30 miles from the most historic road in America. But, you know, take me through, too, if you could, what it's like in your shop. Because I know you said if people can pick up some items or if they want to donate or just stop in and talk, what's up there?
Yeah, there's typical souvenir gift items, a lot of magnets, because people like small items, especially the foreign travelers, 10 signs, which are good for putting in their suitcase, doesn't take up any room. We have 2 different distinct T-shirts that I have made locally, and they're made in the USA, the T-shirts. One is our Henry's Rabbit Ranch, and then the other is a thing that you see a lot of on our ground here, this Campbell 66 Express Trucking Company. And I have one of their tractors, and I have 3 of their trailers. They've been out of business since March the 3rd of 1986, but the memories, just like Route 66, for this company still live on. And the building resembles a gas station from the mid to late 30s. I bought the ground in 1988, and all that was here besides the 2.5 acres was a single wide mobile home. It has totally changed, and it does look like, give you the feel of a 1930s, early 40s gas station you would have encountered. And some of these stations are still along the route. Yesterday, I was coming back from Mount Olive. I went up to this bakery to order a cake for this event on Monday with this guy doing his 66 trip. So on the way back, I stopped in Mount Olive. There's this little restored Shell gas station called the Salisbury Shell Station. And as close as it is, I'm hardly ever able to go by, especially go in. So I thought, I'm going to stop by, because they have a canopy. It was still raining. So I pulled my Chevy HHR under the canopy, didn't even get wet, got right out of the driver's door into the door of the station. This thing is a time capsule. This is an original. It's not a wannabe like I created here. And I was just totally awed by it. The outside looks like it was just finished yesterday. They have repainted it. The people in our area, the Riverbend, they need to get out. Right down there in Alton, you have the Rivers and Routes Tourism Center.
Mm-hmm.
Right there on Broadway and whatever those other streets are.
Mm-hmm.
Highway 67. Go in there and get yourself not only a local guide of the area of things to see, but get yourself the Illinois Route 66 travel guide. They're free for the taking. And you cannot go out and buy something of this quality of content and pictures probably for less than 20 or 30 bucks. It's your tax dollars working for you.
Without a doubt. And you know, really great to mention that, Rich, because actually Great Rivers and Routes Tourism Bureau is about maybe 30 steps from this building where we're talking at right now today. And it's,
are you serious?
Yeah, no, we're at the Riverbender building at 200 West 3rd Street. That's about 30 steps to the Tourism Bureau. And actually, what's funny is I was just talking. We had Corey Job on this week or last week, and we were talking about you too.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, people, you're sitting there doing nothing sometimes. Get off the couch.
Yep.
Go down there and see this. Go inside. Sometimes on the weekend they have where somebody brings in live eagles, you know. But there's a wealth of information inside there, not only with brochures and that, but the people that are in there. And they're regular employees. I mean, they love what they do. And I can't tell you how lucky we are to have that in our area, in your own back pocket, literally for you.
Without a doubt, Rich. And, you know, it's really, that's a heck of an endorsement coming from you, too, especially on that Route 66 guide, because, I mean, you've been around enough to know some of the ins and outs of the stretch, especially the stretch that you're on, and to give that endorsement, I mean, especially with it being right here, talk about a great thing to read throughout the fall and just pick up and maybe even utilize to go find a spot or two to go take a day trip to go see.
Oh, yeah. There's no reason to sit at home and say there's nothing to do.
Exactly.
You know, I think they're open 7 days a week, aren't they?
Yes, I think.
And pretty much a regular 8-hour schedule. Maybe it changes a little in the winter. But, yeah, go down there and see what's in there. And then, you know, do the River Road. You know, one of my favorite trips is go up the River Road to the Brussels Ferry. Cross over the Brussels Ferry, try to go when Whitman's Hotel is open, and then after getting filled up there, go up through Hardin to Campsville, take the other free ferry over to Carrollton, and come back down. It's a beautiful half a day, or make it a whole day trip.
Without,
I mean, you know, it's a little bit of getting off 66. But now if you want to do a day trip on 66, there's two alignments of Route 66 between Staunton and Springfield. You go up one and you come down the other. It'll take you a full day. So you better get an early start as it's getting darker, you know, both in the morning and in the afternoon. But make a day trip of it. Oh, my gosh.
Well, and talk about a great experience, too. And, Rich, I could talk to you all day long, but I got to ask you, is there anything else coming down at Henry's Rabbit Ranch before I have to let you go for now?
I know. I can't think of anything other than just a regular daily experience. And if you really want to experience something out of the ordinary, come on in. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Rich, thank you so much for your time. I always tell you.
It's my pleasure.
Well, I always tell you, you know, 10, 15 minutes, and then here we are talking 20 minutes later. Just
I can't believe it. Yeah. But stay in touch anytime you want to, you know, have me share some stories or see what it's like in the springtime. I'm always ready to, you know, do this.
And we're always ready to talk with you, Rich. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. And hey, people, it's a beautiful weekend. You know what to do. I'm not going to tell you. Okay?
Amen to that one, Rich.
Okay. Well, get your kicks on 66 and also on the River Road.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Rich Henry with Henry's Rabbit Ranch. We'll take a quick break. Daily show on a Friday with Linda Pedersen, safe food specialist. That happens next.